Not Kimberly Clark.
We named Kimberly different names about 4 times, so if I only rename Mona Lisa Beaverstein once this evening, that's okay. I've known Mona Lisa for a number of years, primarily through her work in Right to Life and protecting the lives of the unborn. She's been extremely active in our Diocese of Corpus Christi and our Alliance for Human Life, and this is her key issue through the Republican Party of continuing the work to protect the unborn. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
May I ask these new precinct chairs a question?
Yes, sir.
I ask the others and I ask you guys. Y'all support, the 3 of you here, you support every candidate on the Republican side, from U.S. Congress all the way down to Justice of the Peace, straight across the line, every one of them?
Yes. I do.
Okay.
Republican
I'm trying to
candidate?
think
Republican candidate.
Every Republican candidate that I know personally and that I know what they stand for, I support. If there's some that I don't know personally and I'm not sure what they, I have to know what they're about before
I understand. I just have to ask a question.
Yeah, but I'm not a lying person. I'm not going to go into the booth and get art. I have to know what the person believes in, and like Bob said earlier, it's about numbers. It's also about knowing what a person stands for. I can't just support somebody because they say they're Republican. You've got people who, they say they're Republicans, but they don't act
Well,
like
there's some rhinos floating around, yes.
But I support the candidates that I know personally and that I know what they stand for.
They're pretty stout Republicans all the way down our list. Just thought I'd ask. Sir?
I support those that I can vote for.
Good answer. Good answer. I just had to ask. I asked the other new ones the other night, so I thought I'd ask you guys. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Well, I think that we're at the point of the administration of oath, swearing in of our new precinct chairs. So if I could have those that are in attendance come up, please, with Judge Neal.
Why don't I swear you in first?
Oh,
You're committed. Come around here, you got sworn in.
Judge, actually, Mike Pusley said, "Here he comes, quick, give me the table."
I'm going to make a speech so I get sworn in. I want you all to stand. You may have been sworn in, but by standing, I want you to affirm by your presence and your standing your support for this chair. This is the most important election cycle in my history in Nueces County. Without doubt. I told the group at noon, I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning worrying about this election. I haven't been back to bed yet. We've got to win these elections. You've got to help her and me and everybody else win these elections. I was at the POA tonight. Our candidates are outstanding. Outstanding. Articulate, smart, committed, conservative. Get out there, folks. This is the day we begin. 55 days from now, you'll be right out here in the hall, and we ought to be celebrating a sweep in Nueces County.
Woo!
Here it is. You guys, I'm not going to swear you in. She's going to swear you. All right? Now that it's already been done, I don't care. I repeat your name.
I, Kimberly Curtis,
Do
do
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will
that I will
and will
and will
faithfully
faithfully
carry out the duties
carry out the duties
as chairperson
as chairperson
of the Republican Party of Nueces County.
of the Republican County of Nueces, the
Republican
Republican Party of Nueces County.
Good. I will support
I will support
and defend
and defend
its bylaws and charter.
bylaws and charters.
I will serve
I will serve
and fulfill
and fulfill
our responsibilities
my responsibilities
consistent
consistent
with the high standards
with the high standards
and traditions
and traditions
of the Republican Party.
of the Republican Party.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Your Honor, you did a much better job than I did on
Round nose.
Hey, it takes 3 votes.
And now just fill in things. I
Scott Boyd.
I, Andrew Duarte,
do solemnly
do solemnly
affirm that I
affirm that I
will well
and
faithfully carry out
carry out
the duties as
the duties as
precinct chair
precinct chair
of the Republican Party
of the Republican Party
of Nueces County.
of Nueces County.
I will support and defend
I will support and defend
its bylaws and charter.
its bylaws and charter.
I will serve and fulfill
I will serve and fulfill
my responsibilities
my responsibilities
consistent with the highest standards
with the highest standards
and traditions
and traditions
of the Republican Party.
of the Republican Party.
Your name is-
Oh, no, it's okay.
Welcome aboard.
I want to say something just real quick. I want to thank y'all. I know I'm fumbling through this process. I will get this down. This is a new process to me. Give me time, give me the patience, offer me gentle guidance, and I promise you I will get this down and this will run a lot smoother. Okay? So just thank y'all very much for that. All right. Our next order of business is the nominations and consents of appointed officers. And according to our wonderful bylaws that were passed at our last meeting, according to Article 4, Section 2, the chairman shall, with the advice and consent of the executive committee at a meeting of which due notice of purpose has been given, nominate for appointment qualified persons to serve as the vice chair, the treasurer, the legal counsel, the parliamentarian, and the sergeant at arms. The county chairman shall appoint the treasurer immediately upon assuming office. If the executive committee does not give its consent to a nominee for an appointed office, the chairman shall withdraw the name of that nominee and send the name of another qualified person for that appointment office to the executive committee for its advice and consent. The floor will also open for nominations by executive committeemen of other qualified persons for that appointed office. Each of these officers may be removed from the office by county chairman subject to reinstatement by a 2/3 majority vote of members of the executive committee. In no case shall any executive committee position be vacant for more than 90 days. That's what we're going to finish up with. So, starting out, I'd like to nominate for consideration by the executive committee a vice chairman of Mike Bergsma.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve your recommendation.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? No? Oh, okay, sorry. I thought I heard somebody call a question, or ask a question. The question is on the adoption of the motion that Mike Bergsma be our vice chairman. Yes, my vice chairman. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted.
I appreciate this. I want you to know I'm 100% behind Kimberly on this, and it's my goal, my only goal, is to elect our candidates on November 2nd. I look forward to working with all of y'all. You know, that's the plural of y'all, is all y'all, right? That's right. And I want you to know that I care passionately about our conservative issues. That's why I do this. I could do something else. But I do this because I feel strongly about the babies. I feel strongly about taxes. I feel strongly about our national defense, and I feel strongly about regulation. I wanted to say a couple things about one of our precinct chairs that came, that was appointed today, Andrew Duarte. Andrew and I come from completely different backgrounds. I grew up in a house similar to the one I live in today. My parents went to college. My mother's parents went to college. And I had opportunity. I've always worked, but I had opportunity. Andrew's had to scratch and claw his life. And he is a Republican because he shares the same values that we have. He doesn't look with resentment at my good fortune that I had in growing up. And I salute him for that. And one more thing, if you want your foundation fixed, he's the man. He fixed mine.
Make sure that commercial hits YouTube.
All right, the next position that I call for consideration by the executive committee is our treasurer. And I have a nomination by the name of Susie Infante. Do I hear a motion? A second? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Who is our present treasurer, madam?
Our present treasurer is Crystal Franklin. Frankel. I'm sorry. Frankel. Oh, I'm sorry about that too. But Frankel is our current treasurer. Would you like to hear from Susie?
Does she wish to run again, or?
No, I decline.
Susie, yeah, thank you, Susie. This is Susie Infante. I'm going to let her introduce herself just briefly to you.
My name is Susie Infante. I received my BBA from A&M Corpus, and I also received my MBA from A&M Corpus, and I am a CPA. I work at Bay Limited, Berry Contracting, a family-owned business here in Corpus. It's been around for over 50 years. I got very involved in the Republican part of politics whenever my fiance, John Sullivan, who works with Dr. Curtis and Kimberly Curtis, started doing some radio shows with Bob Jones a few years ago. And it got me very passionate about the same things that Kimberly is passionate about. With working at a business like Bay, we know the impact on our business with what's going on right now with what we're seeing, with what's going on in politics. And so I was very honored when Kimberly asked me, and I answered her very quickly. She almost couldn't finish her sentence. I told her I would be very proud to do that for her, to be her treasurer.
Call the question?
Yes, sir. Call the question. I keep thinking you're asking you got a question or something. I know he is. All right. The question is on the adoption of the motion to accept Susie Infante as our treasurer. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. All right. Our next set is for the, 1 second. I have Mark Gergovich that I would like to present to the Executive Committee as Sergeant at Arms. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve
Second.
Mark Gergovich.
Second.
Yes.